A professional hardscaper knows that every install starts with a proper base. Here are some of the tools to help you make excavation and base preparation as efficient as possible.
Yeah, there are a lot of tools that we can talk about here, Nick. Right down to a shovel and a wheelbarrow, all the way up to a full-size excavator and everything in between.
Yeah, I mean, when we first started manufacturing pavers here in North America 50 years ago, there wasn't as much technology as there is today to help at this phase. And, you know, unfortunately, or I mean, I guess fortunately for the guys who are doing it these days, you know, there wasn't much option other than doing this manually, using a shovel, hand digging the hole, removing the material, wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow. So
yeah, I've been there. It's backbreaking work. It takes a lot longer.
For sure.
A lot more labor involved in that.
Yeah, and of course, you know, labor is something that everybody's looking for more of. Time is something that everybody's looking for more of. So, you know, this might be a really good spot if you're just emerging into this business to make a bit of an investment in your business. And this is probably one of the most, you know, expensive portions of a project, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
But it's a really great idea to look into maybe renting or purchasing a Mini X, a skid steer, some kind of a material mover that's going to alleviate some of those labor hours and the burden on your back as well.
And if you're a contractor that does more work in the city where houses are tighter together, you're going to look for a smaller equipment, some walk-behinds, some ride-ons, also material movers. They can have lots of attachments like forks. They're great tools, and they can save your back.
Yeah, and a skilled operator can really get in there. You know, obviously, Jay, you're going to want to have the area measured properly. You're going to want to have it marked out. We've got some marking paint here behind us.
Right.
And then your machine operator can get in there and really start to carve out that section that you're working on hardscaping. The depth is really important here as well, though, Jay. We got to stick to our quote when determining the depth of the excavation.
If you've estimated for 12 inches of excavation and you don't have some way to measure that 12 inches and you dig down 14 or 16 inches, that's going to be costly, and those costs weren't in your quote. So having a tape measure or a U-level, again, would be very helpful here. You can take your elevations throughout the entire dig. Make sure you're down to the right level and not too far.
Yeah, it's costly on both ends of that.
Sure.
On both ends of that miss. You need to take that material that you've removed and put it somewhere, and then also it's incremental cost on the
backfill
kind of fill that you're putting in. So, you know, definitely really important. And again, whether or not your business is ready to purchase something like that, or whether you're just renting, that's something that, you know, your local territory manager could help you with. We could either, you know, advise you in some cases ourselves, or, you know, perhaps link you up with companies that are in similar positions or have been in similar positions. And, you know, Jay, once you invest in that type of equipment, it's really going to start to steer the projects that you take on.
Right. So now that you've got your hole dug out, and you're bringing your granular A or your 3/4 clear in, you're going to need some type of machinery to make sure that's compacted.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, again, not the cheapest piece of equipment, but a plate tamper is going to come in handy at a couple different phases of a hardscaping project. And it's a really important tool for you to have in your trailer for sure.
Sure it is. And depending on the size of projects you're taking on, you may want a bigger or a smaller compactor. Just keep in mind that your lift size will be smaller. So if you're compacting every 4 inches and you decide to invest in a larger machine, maybe you can up that to 6 inches, making you a little bit more efficient too.
Yeah. Jay, I also have a pretty interesting looking rake beside me here.
Yeah, the landscaping rake. That's good for raking out your base, and, you know, it doesn't separate the different size aggregates. That's kind of what's special about this rake.
Yeah. You know, Jay, I'm sure there's a lot of other tools that, you know, we haven't covered here, but just to kind of summarize a little bit, this is really where you're going to want to invest. This is where you're looking at some kind of machinery. The excavation phase is a perfect spot to really allocate some of your resources and just save yourself a ton of time and your back from some labor.
Right. Your base is your foundation. It's probably one of the most important parts of the job. You want to have a good foundation so that your job will last for years.
If there's anything else, if you need some more information, please, like we said, reach out to us. We've got a lot of boots on the ground. Your local territory manager in your area can further advise, but we hope that, you know, you agree that some of these tools are going to help you and make you the most efficient that you can be.
Thank you.